Hey YouTube, Chris here from Pebble Creek. So, the fabled Video 10 is finally here. Um, some of you on Facebook already know I had some computer issues, so things weren't going quite well for a bit, but looks like everything's back up and running again. We also got some new stuff. We got a new microphone, we got a new camera. We're trying to make things better. Video 10, I thought it was going to be a really cool video. It is going to be, but I started editing it, and it's going to have to be a two-part series, actually. I was going through it and going through it, and then I kind of realized I still got like an extra 2 hours of video here to edit through, and we're already at the 20 minutes. So I cut it short, and yeah, we'll go from there. We'll make a second part. Video 11 will show the completion and actual putting together, and video 10 will be more getting everything ready, I guess. So, a cool surprise and near the end of video 10 you might all like. And once again, let me know what you all think and what you like, what you don't like, what can be improved. Let me know in the comments. Alright, well, let's go take a look and see what we did get accomplished while we were missing in action. Alright, so we got our new microphone to try out. Hopefully you girls can all hear me real good. Better. So here we are, just cleaning out the parts. I use jeweler's files, very fine jeweler's files. And they work great for cleaning up your little nubs from where you cut it off the sprue. And they're also great for getting rid of mold lines as well. Right here I'm just using some sticky tack. Stick it in the back of the part there, put my little alligator clips on, and that'll hold my part for painting. It works good on all little parts like this part here that I'm going to use. It's the a frame for the boiler where the door where you'll shovel all the coal into. And it doesn't have any niblets on it there to put my clippers on, so I'll just put a little bit of sticky tack in there, and next thing you know, I got a place to put my alligator clips. Now these clips, they work great. Like I said, they'll hang on to just the tiniest little bit of plastic, as you can see here on the gate. Like, there's not much there to grab onto, and it holds it pretty good. Airbrushing, I got a kit off Amazon. It's an air compressor airbrush kit. Cheap stuff, probably comes straight out of China. The airbrush doesn't do the most precise painting, but as an overall get the paint on the product, I love it. It works great. It's got a nice trigger to it. It's probably not like, you know, definitely, I guarantee it's not like a high-end one. But for the work I do, it works great. Because any detail working that I do, I just take pieces off again, then I put another coat on. So we'll just get all these parts all painted up here. This is that frame part for the door. Now we're working on the door now. So I don't know if you guys all want a running commentary of what I'm doing, or if you like to cut in and out to music, or do you want to see me painting every single part, or you just want to see that I did some painting? Let me know. These are the little steps that'll go on the back of the boiler. Here's a hand crank handle. Now, one thing about this cheap airbrush I use, it doesn't like metallics. And you'll see it stops spraying sometimes, and then I just point it at the paper and I go wide open throttle with it, and that seems to clear it. But for some reason it doesn't like painting metallics very well. But when it does paint them, it paints them just fine. It's just a tendency to clog up. These parts here are the water gauges. It'd be like well, in my imagination, it's a brass thing with a cage and a glass tube inside. I don't have a book, unfortunately, and we'll paint some more of the support rods here. Alright, so we're going to do some detailing work here. These are the water level gauges. They would be like a glass tube inside of a metal cage. Now I kind of messed up on this. I was using the Tamiya white. I like Tamiya flat white. It's like the purest white. But I should have been using the Rebel one. Rebel. It paints nice with a brush. One nice coat, but here I am committed. These are the supports for all the controls. You would have, I guess, a wheel that would turn a valve. It would be a long rod, and that's what would support it. My model is not a historically correct one by any means, but I just thought it would look really cool with the gold and the black. And of course, little touch-ups on the handle. Just little things, eh? All the stuff you'll probably never see. Now we're back to the water level gauges. So I figured it'd be made out of brass, probably a white gauge inside, and then maybe a stainless or an aluminum bezel cage around the glass protecting it. So we'll paint that part up silver. I thought it came out pretty good anyways. And we'll get the second one done as well. There. Alright, so onto the boiler here. I'm just going to put some tape across the opening here. There's like a steel plate there. I just want to paint that a different color here, make it stand out a little bit more. So we'll put the tape over and just run the X-Acto right along the edge and trim that piece right out. There. Let's use the blade to pick that out. I'll put a piece on the bottom. use my fingernail here and make sure it's tight into the edge of the part. That way I don't get any paint runs. Just work it in there. Alright, we'll just trim this part out the same as the top. Careful around the edges. Perfect. Yeah, got the rest of this all taped off. And look at that. Here's Ron's favorite color, XF56. I think I finally found a good use for it. It works good for cast iron parts. That's that flat metallic gray. Look at that. Alright. Now on structural pieces I'll usually scrape my paint off, but little parts like this, the glue does dissolve the paint. And I put such a thin coat of paint on anyways. The glue does, it works its way through and it does hold. Now like I said, structural parts, yeah, I'll get in there and I'll actually scrape all the paint away and stick it in. But for stuff like this, just a little touch. And it seems to hold, so until I'm shown otherwise, I'm going to continue. Just a little touch on there. There we go. That's that. Now, these are all those little valve rod control supports there. We're going to add those on one by one here. They were a little fiddly, but we'll zoom through them here and they'll just magically get attached here and continue on. Alright, these are little steps that go in the boiler. I imagine that's so either the engineer or the fireman can just reach up and grab those controls that come out of those supports. There's just the two of them here. Just that will do you, and on she goes. I'll put a little glue on here, very, very thin. Set that in place. There. Looks good. Yeah, we'll attach this door. Now, I'm not even putting any glue in here yet. Just going to set that in. Can I get it where I want it to sit? And I got these side brackets that go on. They're like a foot peg, so you'd step on that foot peg and it would open the door so the fireman can just shovel in the coal, right? We're going to attach that to the one side, and then we got the other one here too as well. We'll get those on. And we'll get the other side. Alright, now we'll move on to the next little surprise we got going here. I got a new camera first to try out. Let's go see. Okay, so a couple of years ago I got one of these electronic microscopes off Amazon, and I got it for my kids, and they look up things they find outside and whatnot, and anything else interesting. It zoom in real good, and it connects to the computer. So I had the thought, I wonder if I can use it to zoom in. And well, it seems to work. I won't use this on everything, but this will at least allow you to see some things close up, see some details. Again, I don't know what you would call this kind of a lens, if that. I don't know if it's a macro lens or if it's just. I'll just pick that part right out. Let's take a look at it. Very nicely detailed there. I'll have to file down some of these little nubs here. My jeweler's files will take care of those quite nicely. And then we'll paint this, I think we'll paint the bars black. And I think I'm going to leave that pivot just the way it is. It's got a nice brassy texture to it. I think paint will ruin that. So I think I'm just going to leave that as it sits. And of course there I've scratched it. Oh, a lot. But you know what? You actually won't be able to see those out there. There's that part. Okay, well we got one more part to cut out here as well. This is like I imagine it's a gear of some sort. Anyways, it attaches behind a wheel. Well, here, we'll just cut this part out. I'm gonna have to get a piece of glass or something for cutting on. As you see, I am nicking the plate, eh? See that? Oh. There, with the back in the view so you can all see what I'm doing. I gotta get a proper pair of cutters as well. I'll figure it out eventually, eh? There we go. Again, we'll file down these little nubs and we'll make them make it a nice uniform piece. And there's the other part beside it. Alright. Alright, so that's video 10 for now. Like I said, there was still a ton of footage to go through, so I'm going to have to do a second, I don't know if I'll call it 10B or we'll probably just call it 11. Anyways, stay tuned. Everything's all back up and running, obviously, so we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.